All right, hello everybody. I see we have Marty McFly first. Somebody has that notifications bell turned on. Nice. Okay, hang on. Let's just clip it there. Good enough. Should be fine. We're gonna wait for a couple more people to join the chat. Welcome to the stream. In the meantime, it's a little better. Make my chair more comfortable. Oh, we have 3 people here. Hello, welcome. Welcome to the awkward part of the stream where I try and figure out, okay, how far back should I sit? What do I do with my windows? What do I do with my microphone? All right, I think we got it figured out. There are 6 people here. Hello, welcome. And you know what? I was going to use, excuse me, the Radiant Rider-Waite, but I think since we're talking to an Archangel today, we're going to bust out the Angel's Tarot. I think that only makes sense. And for anybody who likes this deck and wants to check it out for themselves, there is a link in the description, or at least there should be. If there isn't now, I'll put one, to the online shop where you can get these cards. Use the coupon code SRMeta at the checkout and you can save, I think it's 20% off. Anyways, it's a nice discount. All right, so plugs aside, 10 people here. Hello, hello. We have Marty, we have Anita. We have 15 people. Carmen, hello. We're gonna light some cinnamon. I like this because you can literally just buy cinnamon sticks at the grocery store and take them right from the package and light them. And it works. It smells amazing. Makes my room smell like I've been baking something. Oh, I love it. I cannot get enough of burning cinnamon. There are other good properties for burning cinnamon as well. Like it attracts abundance. And for a while I was confused, an abundance of what? Because I burn cinnamon when I try to do prosperity and money spells for, myself and other people. I also use it when I want to attract an abundance of joy or an abundance of like healing or an abundance of wisdom. And it seems to be effective. So if you haven't tried burning cinnamon, because I'm not 100% on the smell of sage. I know sage has wonderful properties, but I just don't really like the smell of it. I like Palo Santo and I love cinnamon. So that's something worth trying if you have not tried that. I'm using my scissors to cut the dead stuff or the burnt stuff off my cinnamon stick. There we go. Now my scissors are smelling yummy. And we have 23 in the chat. Hello and welcome. I'm going to burn this cinnamon stick because I'm asking for an abundance of knowledge, an abundance of wisdom, an abundance of advice, perhaps, from Archangel Metatron today. You know what's nice? I just have like a little candle holder. I should probably clean it up. It's covered in wax, but I just like to put the cinnamon stick. It's almost like a little incense holder thing. It fits almost perfectly in there. And then that way I'm not worried about putting it down on my desk while it's still burning, when you know, or something like that. You know what I might also do is I might just light a tea light. And with this tea light, we ask that, well, that we cleanse our space and we open the channels to clear and effective psychic communication. I invite the Archangel Metatron to come in and to talk to us today and to help us out and maybe answer some of our questions. All right, so I'm going to put this little tea light. Oh, I'm going to move the box. I like that box. I don't want to burn it up. Put that right here next to my cinnamon. And then you guys can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm just relighting the cinnamon, asking for an abundance of peace, love, advice, wisdom, guidance, and joy. All right. Now, I didn't have to worry about whether or not Metatron was going to want to connect today because, like all of our spiritual guides, all of our guardian angels, he was already there. Now, okay, just a thing. I'm just going to refer to Metatron as he, just so that I don't confuse myself. But this angel does want to make it clear that they're a being. They're just the, like, kind of like this energetic embodiment of life itself. Not really male or female, but at the same time has both energies present. So, ooh, hello, Tarot's Apprentice. Just ordered the Angels Tarot. Can't wait. It will be a nice collection or addition to your collection. You'll find that the cardstock is actually nice and thick. At least I think it's decent quality cardstock. It doesn't seem to get all frayed on the corners. Then again, these are still relatively new cards to me, but I've used them a lot and they've held up very well. So here's kind of what I was thinking. Because we're kind of going through some crazy times. I mean, the world has always seen crazy times, but this corner of the world is seeing crazier times than I think we're used to. And there's more like uncertainty and stress in the world than we're used to. I wanted to ask Metatron just for some advice on remaining joyful and advice on just basically staying sane during a time like this. Excuse me. This time I have a full water bottle instead of just a half. I get the feeling I'm going to require a lot of water this stream. Oh, yes, Little Sparrow. Yes, we can learn a little bit more about Metatron, too. That might be a good one to start off with. What is his character like? He, they, whatever. Like I said, I'm just going to call him he. I blow out the tea light. Hello to everybody who's just joined. Welcome. All right, so I guess let's start with that. Metatron, what's your, should we say personality? I mean, that's the way I understand it. What is it like? What are you like? What are you like? I'm right away hearing, I am the essence of life itself. I'm present in the sacred spaces between molecules, the sacred spaces between the atoms, the sacred spaces between your thoughts. I'm also hearing something about every time you look and see nothing, I'm actually there. Okay, so wow, we got a lot here. There's the Emperor. I pick up this, well, I think it's because in this channeling or this whatever the session, I'm referring to Metatron as a he. If I were referring to Metatron as a she, I think that the Empress would have come up. But there's this type of protective energy. It feels very similar to like a parent protecting their child. Yeah, Metatron sees all of us as children of the divine. That's what I was hearing, children of the divine. He communicates to us through our intuition, through our subconscious, and a lot of people may encounter him in different forms in their dreams at night. And he may appear as some kind of a guide. No, don't worry, Cheryl. This time I don't have too many pre-written questions. A lot of the people in the chat are coming up with really, really good ones. Cheryl, if you have questions too, feel free to ask. But welcome to the stream. Thank you for being a moderator. I appreciate your help very, very much. Okay, so Metatron, what else are you like then? Calm joy. What? I don't know why I'm being reminded of like the feeling of emotional stability, because to be honest, in a human life, emotional stability can be a very fleeting thing. We go through so many ups and downs. But he is the presence of calm joy despite circumstances. There are times in life we maybe go through really difficult things, but at the same time, on a much deeper level, we remain unmoved or just not easily thrown about by the I'm being shown now crashing waves and what are those floating things on the water? A buoy, I think. I think that's what it's called. But you know how they stay upright. This buoy doesn't, succumb to the waves. It doesn't sink. It doesn't lose itself in the chaos of the ocean. Metatron saying he is the embodiment of this type of peace. And that when we require this type of peace, that we can always call on him and that he will be there. He's one of many who embody this type of peace. He wants to make that clear. He's saying, I'm not the only one. However, there is reference to being connected to a one, a singularity. And it's something we're all connected to. He's now trying to show me, he's saying he weaves the tapestry of life. He helps. So what does this mean then, Metatron? What is that? What do you do then? I pick up that he kind of helps to plan lifetimes. This is going to be a little bit strange, I think, to some of you, but something I've picked up in the past, especially when I do past life readings for clients and stuff like that, I'm often referred to, or often shown, Spirit often refers to, that's what I'm looking for. Spirit often refers to and shows me a certain type of council of spiritual beings. I don't know exactly who they are, but they help us to plan our earth lifetimes. It's kind of a group of, there's some ascended masters in there. And like there's a couple of like angelic beings there, and they're all extremely wise. And they're like this council that helps people plan human lifetimes. Metatron oversees this council, which I kind of just learned that now, which is kind of amazing. So helps us to plan lifetimes, helps us to, I'm hearing something about momentum. He's like this, he is like an embodiment of, what is this? Why am I just hearing the word momentum? Okay, maybe I think I get it. When you're working on something and you really are getting into the flow and it just becomes like automatic. You're just so good at this task that you're doing that it becomes second nature. It's just a function that you do. You carry it out with ease. He is the energy of that ease and that forward movement. Ooh, Daphne says, I had a reading once and was told Metatron helps me to process daily tasking, especially at work. And I love that. This is like a card of doing lots of work and lots of tasks. That was really cool. So Metatron, what else do you do? What kind of, you oversee the council of whoever it is that plans human lifetimes. You are the embodiment of calm versus chaos. You are the embodiment of order, momentum, ease. What else? What else can you tell us about yourself? And you know what I pick up about Metatron? I really like this about him. And this is something that I want to be able to personally embody in myself, is there's just a constant living in the moment. And that's where you find peace and harmony. I'm being told that like when you live in the past and you obsess over the past, it creates this energetic or emotional heaviness. And it's like you can't move forward. The image I'm being shown right now is somebody on the bottom of a lake or on the bottom of the river, and they're holding a big bag of rocks, so it's keeping them down there. I'm being shown now they let the bag of rocks go. Maybe they choose to let go of the past, and they kind of just gently float their way back up to the surface without panic. And then I'm being shown when we live in the future and we obsess and worry over the future, I'm being shown the same person that's like at the bottom of the lake or whatever, but they're like fighting and clawing their way up to the surface, and they're losing air and they're struggling and they're just putting themselves like through more pain than necessary when they could just gently, I guess gently tread the water and gently make their way up to the surface. So there's this beautiful thing about living in the present moment. He says that's where existence lies and that's where life is. He likes to help people get through really difficult times in life. He says that being part of the present moment can help with this. He's saying that thinking about the future, it does have its place. Sometimes we do want to think about future plans to give us something to look forward to, especially if we're in a hard situation. It helps us to remember that, okay, this will pass. But he's saying, don't become so preoccupied by the future that you feel like you're struggling. And I'm being reminded of the image again of that person in the water that's like struggling and fighting to reach the surface when all they need to do is just chill and let themselves, their own buoyancy, bring them back up to the surface. I'm also picking up, I offer blessings, gifts of, well, there's gifts of knowledge, which I think that would be more of a swords, Ace of Swords type of thing. But he's saying that there's just such a different wealth of blessings that he can provide for us. So for some people, it is material. He helps to line up opportunities for them to maybe get jobs or make some money, or lines up ways for somebody to be able to make ends meet. There's also, like, he can bless people with wisdom and knowledge, with triggering their spiritual awakening. He's saying there's so many things that he is able to give to us and that he wants to give to us. Yeah, Justice card on the bottom. I'm just being told I am the energy of balance, peace, harmony, order. When all feels as it should be, you know that I am there. Oh, Matera, that's a great way to put it. I need to find magic in the mundane. And I'm hearing that echo of that's where life is. Good question, little Sparrow. Is he associated with electricity? Okay, I'm being told to relay a personal story now. When this would have been probably 2 years ago. There's a video on my channel where I talked about having my Akashic records read by a psychic. And this psychic very strongly picked up the presence of Metatron just in the room. Like, I mean, Metatron is around us all the time, but just so much energy concentrated in the room. And when she was talking about, I can't remember exactly what it was, something to do with, like, she was telling me that energy healing was going to be very, very important to me as a career, and to look into Metatronia. I think it's called Metatronia therapy or Metatronian therapy. It's something I still haven't looked into. But when she was talking about this, the lights in the room shut off. The lamps went completely dim and then slowly lit back up. And it just did not feel like just a coincidence. Like, it did not feel like an accident. That felt very, very, very much on purpose. I'm hearing him say I can manipulate energy in all of its forms. So yes, that can apply to electricity. What else? I'm seeing something about, like, the energy of moving water. Sound waves. And, like, this is really weird. I think this is just saying, like, he's able to work with and manipulate all kinds of energy. But yeah, I guess that would include electricity. Something to do with, like, sound. I'm also picking up, oh, wow. Okay, well, I'm picking up cards off my floor, but I'm also picking up, like, something to do with radio waves. Oh, and you know what this is? Because he lines up things. He can also line up synchronicities, things that will trigger people's spiritual growth. Okay, and after I shoveled and picked all this up, on the bottom of the deck, I have here the Wheel of Fortune. This is all about, like, things that are meant to be. He's saying there are no accidents. He does not do things by accident. Now, what I'm seeing with radio waves, oh my goodness. He's saying he's not the only being that can do this, that there are lots of other spiritual beings who do this. They can, like, somehow manipulate, like, what comes on the radio. You know, and I'm sure you've had it before, where you start your car or you turn on the radio and they're talking about something that just really resonates with you, or answers a question that you were having, or you get a song that was really, really meaningful. And you definitely feel like it was a message or some some kind of something. He's saying that he does this, that he can sort of somehow manipulate, and I don't really get how this works, because he's showing me that no, he can't interfere with people's free will, but I'm seeing now like a radio station, the list of songs, and can manipulate. Why is he showing me like a shuffle button? I don't know how radio stations work. I don't think they have like a shuffle button. They have like a queue of songs or whatever, but I just pick up Metatron can do something with the electronics and like change the order in which certain songs come up. Because the order in which certain messages come up, which is really weird, but it's interesting. So that you can hear exactly what you need to hear at the moment you need to hear it. He's saying he does not do anything by accident. He moves very purposefully, and he moves with intent. He's very calculated. That word definitely comes in. He's very calculated. Now, I was bringing this up earlier. Advice on staying basically sane and joyful in a crazy world. I wanted to know, excuse me, I wanted to know what his advice is. Because there's definitely that living in the present moment, trying not to. There's definitely something about don't bother swimming against the current of life. And I am seeing something about a riptide. I don't live in an area where, like, Alberta is landlocked. Like, I don't think, as far as I know, I've ever had to deal with a riptide on the beach or anything like that. But now he's showing me the current of a strong flowing river, and that makes a little bit more sense to me. That when it comes to life, there's no use in trying to swim against the current, because that's not the direction you were meant to go. So what else? What other advice? I get that this will pass. That there is a new beginning ahead. That there's so much more possibility than what we're seeing. There's so much more potential for life to be great than we are currently seeing. Now I have 3 cards that go together. Okay, we got the Hermit. Go within, take a look at yourself, your life. Take a look at what has been coming up, what kind of fears, what kind of maybe bad memories, what kind of traumas, what kind of stuff comes up that's difficult. It's coming up because it wants to be processed and released. This 10 of Swords is all about done, 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 and over with. That we don't need to run away from our fears. I mean, if you see a bear in the woods, yeah, probably get out of there. But he's saying, like, when it comes to our development, our insecurities, our doubts, like, we don't have to suppress things. We don't have to stuff our fears down. We don't have to stuff our old traumas down. That, in fact, that just, I'm being shown again the image of the dude on the bottom of the lake holding a great big bag of rocks. Craig, thanks for the super chat. That we are free to unburden ourselves. And there are always new beginnings in life. Some things we can process and let them go for good, and some things we process and let them go little bits at a time. But I'm picking up that there's a chance for, it's like almost like a new life. Deborah, thanks for the super chat. Find joy in the present moment. Find just even little things that make you smile or make you laugh. You know, and that could be like the love of your family, or being around your kids or your grandkids, or you know, whoever. Being around friends that make you happy. And then I'm just actually being shown the image of somebody. It can be something just really simple. Somebody looking at their phone, scrolling, seeing a funny video, and their face lights up and they laugh and they smile. Appreciating that kind of joy. Noting, hey, that was really funny, or that brought me lots of joy, and just expressing gratitude to the universe, and expressing gratitude to, well, I'm being told, expressing gratitude to life. Metatron thinks of life, and I see this with a capital L, spelled with a capital L. So like life itself is its own being. That is weird. But I guess that makes sense. To honor your life, just where it is in the moment. And I'm being told that to honor it just means to like have acceptance. You don't necessarily have to like where you are, but just have acceptance of, okay, this is currently how it is. That's all you got to do, is just, all right, this is currently how it is. Well, okay. And when you have that acceptance, you're no longer fighting against life. I'm going to look through some of these comments. I've missed quite a few. Oh, good. I'm really glad this is helpful to some of you guys, because this is really helpful to me too. Debbie says, hell yeah, I'm running if I see a bear. Suzanne's saying that she's experienced other number sequences, but can't always narrow it down what it's referencing or what it's talking about. And I like that you guys in the chat are so supportive and helpful to each other, because I see here Debbie goes, yeah, there are a couple meanings. I usually go with what resonates with me at the time, and I think that is a wonderful answer. Because we are multifaceted beings. We have lots of different things going on in life, lots of different areas of development. We're growing in so many different ways all at once. And in one moment, maybe you just need a certain message, I don't know, maybe about like emotional healing. And in the next moment, maybe it's a message of encouragement. In the next moment, it could be confirmation that something you're trying to manifest is on its way to you. And, you know, these could all be like, look very, very different, be like, appear in very, words are so hard, appear in many different ways in our lives. I hope that makes sense. It's really fun when I get all of this information coming in at once and I have to sort it out really quick and get it out of my mouth. Debbie says, or stop eating too much sugar. Oh my God, I feel that in my soul. Yeah, maybe like reminders for physical health, or just like, hey, you're doing really well. Keep up your healing, keep up your good work. I'm just hearing from Metatron, like, you go within and it's like you will know in the moment what it's referring to, or what's being healed, or what kind of message you're receiving. whether it's one of encouragement or one of warning, or, just, I'm also picking up that sometimes we just get reminders from Spirit, them saying, hey, we're here. We care about you. We're here for you. And it may be completely unprompted, but they just want you to know, hey, we're here and we care. Yeah, Cheryl, you make a good point. Fruit is natural sugar, so that's okay. Yeah. But I think it's like the processed, or, the processed foods and the refined sugars, and more natural stuff would probably be fine in moderation, I'm sure. I have a question for Metatron, and I'm just trying to understand what it is that I want to say. Because I'm curious about the hierarchy of angels. And how did he become an archangel? Do they work their way up through the ranks? Or are these just like appointed positions? Or have they just always been that way? What is the difference between just like a regular angel and an archangel? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Well, this answers only part of the question. He's saying that we actually don't have to see it this way at all. We don't actually have to make that distinction. However, I pick up that archangels are kind of, they can do, no, what is this? They're more general. Their roles are more general. And let's say what I was calling regular angels, they're more specialized. Like some might deliver messages from Spirit, and some, because that's like what they love to do, and maybe that's just what they are most apt for. He's saying that they all have like different personalities. It's very similar to us on Earth, how we all have different personalities and strengths and different things that we're good at. He's saying it still works that way in the spiritual realm. So where regular, I guess, angels are more specialized in some of their skills, archangels seem to be able to do all of it. However, he's saying there really isn't a need to have this distinction, because he's saying that all of the roles are equally valid and equally valuable. I want to know how they kind of work. Do they work their way up through the ranks? Okay, I want to understand this. So Metatron, how does this work? Do they work their way up through, are there like ranks, or am I just thinking of it too much in human terms? Whoa, hang on. No, he's telling me not to think about it in terms of like a career ladder or up the hierarchy of a workplace. Not at all. He wants me to think about it as education, like school, basically. That all of the angelic beings, they work together. They connect to each other. I pick up like, there's like comparing notes. Swapping ideas. What else? They're just very, very happy to share their knowledge with each other. And there's no, I don't pick up at all an energy of competition. I'm going to shut my window because you could probably hear the sirens out there. Now he's saying that they all have free will, And I'm sure that if one of them wanted to, they could just be like, you know what, screw this, I'm going to go do my own thing. But he's saying that they all have that free will like choice, but they all want to be there. They all want to serve. They help serve us on earth. They help serve, I'm hearing, like life again, capital L, so like life as the being. They all serve each other. And they help each other to learn and grow. So it's like school, but well, it's interesting because I mean, in human school we have the kids in the class and then we have the teacher. But in the angelic sort of realm, it seems like the students are the teachers. They teach each other. And then of course there are like these archangels who, like I was saying, have more, what is the word I'm looking for when it covers a wide area of skills, whatever it is. And they help give advice, they help to teach, they help impart wisdom and information. And then, you know, like Metatron's showing me, okay, he's like, well, if this will help you to understand it, I'll give it to you this way. He's showing me the image of a classroom, and he's the teacher at the front with at the whiteboard writing notes, and all of the students, they're all taking down the notes, but one has a question, and so the other one goes, oh, here, I can help you with this. Or one doesn't understand something, and the other one next to them goes, oh, here, look at my notes. Maybe this will help you. There's just this genuine love for each other and desire to help each other to learn and to grow in their, I don't know if it's like to grow in their abilities. No, yeah, no. That's weird. I'm getting yes, but also no. He's telling me to think about a Reiki practitioner, how when you start out, you know, you're kind of just opening the channels just opening, the channels to be able to take that spiritual energy and pass it on. The healing doesn't come from the practitioner themselves. They, I guess, like as they become stronger and stronger channeled the more that they practice. Angels are kind of like this too, sort of. That's weird. They become like stronger and more effective channels for the divine to flow through them. Oh, great question, Little Sparrow. Actually, a bunch of you guys have good questions. So let's start with Little Sparrow because hers is higher up in the chat. Are there negative spirit beings that manipulate situations or grids to dampen our spiritual light? And why? Has there ever been a war in heaven, so to speak? Okay, let's see. I right away pick up there are all kinds in the spiritual realm. But what do we have? I don't know if you guys heard that, but my stomach growled. I am hungry. I don't know about like a war in heaven, so to speak, but I definitely pick up that there have been beings that decided like earlier when I was saying they have the option to go, screw this, I'm going to go do my own thing. And a lot of them want to be there and a lot of them don't want to go off and do their own thing, but there have been some who did and decided to forge their own path. And I don't know, for whatever reason, they just, maybe they I don't know if it's that they didn't want to serve anymore, but I'm picking up that there are angels and I don't know if we'd call them angels, but just beings that they want to learn some things for themselves. And they become a little bit more self-involved to the point where it can lower their vibration to that of almost like a human's, or like a earthly or a worldly vibration. Metatron saying though, that this is often like part of some beings' path, that they fall away for a little while and then they return. They learn what they need to learn. They return with a greater understanding and greater, I keep hearing the word respect, a greater appreciation for life and for their place within it. So I don't know about like a war or anything like that, but some beings do kind of fall away. They learn a lot of maybe difficult lessons. They learn whatever it is that they need to learn while they're in a lower vibration, and they take what they've learned and they often go back up to this higher vibration. I'm hearing from Metatron, like, you can never be kicked out of heaven. Just like, why am I being shown school again? That at least in heaven, you can't get expelled, but you can be sent to kind of like detention. But instead of punishment, they're reminded of actually how worthy and beautiful they are, and remind them of their origins and help to sort of reawaken that good in them, or that love in them. Or they end up in like special classes. I'm hearing special classes. I don't know what that means. They go to maybe a different realm in spirit than they were used to. Maybe they have other lessons to learn that it's like, well, due to the vibrational nature of this thing you're learning, we don't have room for that in this part of heaven or in this part of spirit. But you know what? Over here, they can help you, and they can help you get through this. That's what I pick up, is that in the school of heaven, there is no expulsion, but there are interventions, and there are special, I don't know, I'm hearing special classes, and there is kind of like detention, sort of. But they don't want us to think of spiritual detention as punishment. It's just being held accountable, and then learning to maybe forgive yourself, and learning what are some better things you can do instead. Stormcloud, thank you for your super chat. I really appreciate it. Oh, wow. Cynthia says, when you said find joy in the present moment, the dialysis dietitian stopped by my chair. Her name is Joy. Oh, weird. That is weird. But you literally found joy in the present moment, and there she was. What? Where was the other question I wanted to ask? It was somewhere. Oh, do angelic beings learn from humankind? That was the question. That's a really good one. Do they learn from us? And if so, what kind of things? they already sort of know everything about us. So when it comes to our behaviors and stuff, they're not ever really surprised by what we do or by some of our decisions. Words are hard. Because they already know. They already know all of the different, I see it as a flow chart. Well, if Sienna makes this choice, this outcome A, B, or C could be the result. They know what each outcome could be based on my decision that I make or don't make. But you know what I do pick up is that from watching us and from just being with us, they understand us more, or they understand maybe the human perspective more. And this deeper understanding of us leads to, it's kind of like a deepening of like an intimate connection, like emotional intimacy almost. Like when you learn something, like let's just say like you and a loved one like are talking, you learn something new about them and you go, wow, I didn't know that before. You kind of have this whole new appreciation for them, or this like newfound level of respect for them. It's kind of like the angels they like that with us. They're like, okay, well, just from watching you, like it's like a deeper compassion. They have such a deep compassion for us. And the more they watch us learn and grow, it's almost like the more, I don't know if attached is the right word, but almost like the more like in love with us they fall. Some of you guys are talking about what you were like in school. Oh my God, Brenda's saying she was naughty and marched out of the class by the teacher. Wouldn't sit still. Oh my God. Debbie and Cheryl are talking about like being left-handed. Oh, I bet you. Well, I don't want to say the olden days because I don't want to. That sounds rude, and I don't mean to. But let's say in past decades, that was a big deal. They wanted kids to learn to write with the right hand, not the left hand. You know what? When I was in school, I was okay. I didn't like getting in trouble, but I loved talking. I talked way too much in class to my friends, or sometimes I would get in trouble passing notes to my friends, or you like not well. Sometimes it was so hard to pay attention. Sometimes this happens to me all the time still as an adult. I'm supposed to be listening or paying attention to something, and then I just remember something really funny from a long time ago, and it makes me laugh out of nowhere. And yeah, and then I'm like, I'm still learning all this like new, well, it's not new stuff about myself. I'm just becoming aware of more and more things that had always been like present in my life. So one was I would actually have a lot of trouble paying attention unless I was doodling or drawing or coloring, or I have to be usually holding something in my hand. And I didn't know that is what they call it, stimming. And for some kids like with ADHD and stuff, that's what it helps them. They do different kind of things to stimulate, or sensory kind of things. I don't know. I was always just a very sensory oriented kid. But some of my teachers didn't like that because they thought I wasn't listening when in fact I was. That was one of the only ways I could listen and retain information, as if I was drawing or doing something. Oh, Alex, good question. Have you asked if Metatron is tall? A child we used to babysit saw 2 angels in our yard. When he pointed at them, it seemed like they were tall. He said they were making funny faces at him. You know what I'm picking up is that some of them are. Some of them are very tall because human bodies have restrictions. And okay, there are people out there with like gigantism or other like bodily things that make them grow really, really tall. But for the most part, humans don't generally go over 7 feet. Really, not. You can get the really tall guys. Like you look at all like the different basketball players and stuff that are like 7 feet tall, and they're kind of like, that's kind of like special. Like that's like Spirit saying like that's like the really, really tall end of the spectrum. However, angels do not have those limitations. That like, you know, the average person only grows to however for some people like 6 feet or for, you know, other people it's 5 foot something. Angels don't have those limitations. They can appear in any form that they want. Their energy is so expansive that like to stuff all of that into a normal sized human body would be extremely difficult for them. But I like that they can appear in any form that they want. And so I guess that can mean if they want to be really tall, because I you know what? I'm picking up, I don't know why I'm picking up 12 feet. And now they're saying like in spirit, the measurements and stuff aren't really that important, like physical measurements and whatever. But that we might perceive some beings as being like 12 feet or more. And I'm getting like, that's not even the biggest they can go. There's some beings out there that our physical body would be tiny in the palm of their hand. It would be like, well, okay, here's my tea light. Let's say this would be us. And we think we're so big and we think our world is so big. And yet there are beings in spirit that are so big that we fit perfectly in the palm of their hand, or we're tiny in their hand. I'm being reminded of that Sunday school song about the whole world in his hands. Little Sparrow, thanks for your super chat. Okay, and there's a couple of really good questions. Somebody asked like quite a while ago, and I didn't quite get to it. And they asked again, thank you for the reminder. Is it normal for some of us to not see, hear, or sense our angels and guides? Okay, because some people do have trouble picking up on spirit guides around them. You know what I'm picking up? This might be a specific message for you, Chris. Yeah, Chris, right, that's who asked it. This might be a more specific message for you, but maybe this will resonate with other people. That, okay, first of all, Hierophant, we are always connected to the divine. We are always connected to our angels and guides. We're a part of them and they're a part of us. However, we don't always give ourselves credit for that. We don't always remember that in our human limitations. I pick up that you might be more, they call it claircognizant where instead of seeing mental images or hearing in the mind's ears or whatever, you have this just inner knowing. This inner knowing that something is true, or this inner knowing that your guides are around you. And Spirit's saying a lot of people are actually like this. Hangman on the bottom of the deck just shows me a change in perspective. You might just need to change the way you think about perceiving your guides and angels. Sometimes we have expectations like, oh, we should be able to see them or hear them or, you know, whatever it is, receive downloads from them. But sometimes some people just have that inner knowing that, okay, they are here. I'm also picking up that this connection can be worked on and strengthened. There are ways to practice your connection to spirit. And I don't know, from my experience, I just know like guided meditations have been very, very helpful for this. So that might be something just worth trying. And then Little Sparrow asked, can humans be fractals of angels? Like we belong to an angel family. Are we all in a way fractals of God? Whoa, Metatron's telling me that we already know the answer to this, which is yes. I got this world card that we're all wrapped up into one beautiful being. Now, what I'm being shown is that this beautiful being, I'm being shown this like huge sphere of light, but it has different strands and cords that stick out from it and go off in different directions. That's each of us living our own experiences, learning things, but we all eventually bring everything back to the core, I guess I would call it. We all return to that one source. I pick up that, yes, this is our destiny. We are part of life and life is part of us. That's a beautiful question, though. I really appreciate that one. I appreciate all you guys' questions. Okay, I think the last one we're going to look at. Suzanne says, I hope I am taller in spirit. You know what I was just shown a second ago? Just seeing your comment there. That, like I was saying, there's some beings that they're huge and we're little in the palm of their hand. And then there's some beings that are just tiny little pinpricks of light. Tiny little point of awareness, because for whatever reason they like being just teeny little points of light, or teeny little, like I'm almost seeing like we would maybe mistake them for fairies or for something like that. They can take any form they want. So if you want to be really tall in spirit, I'm sure you could. And what was the last question? It was here somewhere. Oh, I totally feel that, Alex. I just hope body image doesn't matter there. Metatron saying that the earth is the only place where it matters, and even here, it's not supposed to matter. We're not supposed to become too preoccupied with it, but the spirit realm understands that it does happen. That in spirit, we are the essence of beauty. That even like right now, we are the essence of beauty because that's what lives within us. Oh, where is that last question? I can't find it. I'm going to keep scrolling. Let's look. Okay. Do angels see each other as beings or as energy? Yeah, how do they perceive each other? That's a good question. because like we did get that they can appear, manifest in any form they want. They can look any way they want. How do angels perceive each other? There's kind of like two ways that they perceive each other. And actually, I'm being told that it's similar to how people perceive each other. Okay, so first, we recognize someone, oh, like, hey, I recognize your face. I know who you are. You're so-and-so. And then they recognize each other's energetic presence. And I think that there are people in our lives that we, like, they might like walk into the house when we're in a different room and we just know who it is. Maybe we know by the way they walk. We know, or maybe just like, for people we're really close to, we just kind of feel their presence and we know it's them. So angels are very similar. They're like, oh yeah, there's the form, like, oh, let's just use Gabriel and Michael for examples, just because it's easy. It can be like, Metatron can, see, oh, there's Gabriel. Today he's appearing as, I don't know, humanoid angel with blonde hair and a horn. Oh, there's Michael over there. Today he's appearing as a giant, like, 13-foot light being. But it doesn't matter in what physical form they appear. They have that distinctive, they have a distinctive energy, a distinctive like presence or a vibration. And they recognize each other by like this vibration, but they do kind of understand like that, okay, this is the form that he's taking on today in this house. I recognize him. Okay, if that makes sense. I said that was going to be the last one, but you guys are asking really, 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 really good questions. So last one for real is, do angels take regular residence in human bodies? Like, for example, maybe a dustman or policeman. And you know what? There are times that, like, I've read stories of people, like, being in a situation that they thought, oh my God, like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. And then somebody's kind of swooped in and helped them, maybe literally rescued them. Or I've read all kinds of stories of like struggling parents or people who are struggling, not being able to pay for groceries. And they're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Do I just leave hungry, And then somebody in line is like, oh no, I'll pay for this. I'll help you. And they go, oh my God, that person must be an angel. Like, does this happen? Or if it does, how often? Interesting. So, they actually, no, I don't think they like put on a human costume and come down here and do anything. But what they do is they influence people to be in the right place at the right time. Because for whatever reason, they're helping you, and maybe that helps your growth or your spiritual growth, but at the same time, it's helping their own growth, and it helps them as well. So Spirit kind of picks people to be in the right place at the right time with the right resources. Because for whatever reason, their experience is going to mirror yours. And I don't know, you don't even have to know each other to be able to learn from each other, have your experiences like help each other. There's definitely a lot of angelic influence when it comes to situations like that, where you know, you encounter those people, you meet those people that are just the right place, the right time, and they're helpful or they're compassionate or they provide you comfort or whatever it is in a time where you're really desperate or you don't know what you're going to do. So they definitely encourage and influence people to be in the right place at the right time, and I really love that. So that was talking with the Archangel Metatron. Thank you so much. There are 83 of you in this chat. That is exciting. Thank you to everybody for watching, for the super chats, for liking and subscribing, for supporting me in all of the wonderful ways that you do. And thank you, let's give a big thank you to the Archangel Metatron for being here and gifting us with his presence and wisdom and guidance. I really loved this a lot. And if you want me to do this again, you know, whether it's Metatron or Michael or Raphael or Jesus, because I was like really close. It was almost Jesus today. Maybe next time. Let me know. And we'll definitely do this again because this was wonderful. All right. So with that, thank you so much for watching.